Hello, welcome to Zodiac Reads, Books Aligned with the Stars. Today we are doing Virgo. What books match the energy? If you're really into astrology and books, you are at the right place. Let's get started. 3, 2, 1. I love you. So let's first talk about Virgo energy. And because we are talking about Virgo energy, Virgo is about condensing and diminishing and cleansing and organizing. And I realize I love books and astrology a lot. Both of them go hand in hand. And because of this energy, I realized I should condense the videos. I will be doing one video on the Virgo energy. If you want more, let me know. Comment down below if you really like this series and I'll break it down even more. But I think I can fit it all in one video. Let's talk about Virgo. If you know about Virgos, we are talking about being practical. Virgo energy and the zodiac sign is all about rituals, routines, decluttering, order, practicality, repetition, productivity, systems, organization, and health. Also, service to others. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and this is when you get the practical intelligence. Mercury also rules Gemini. That's more fast-paced energy. Virgo is a little bit slower. Both mutable signs, so it is about change. But when you are having Virgo linked to Mercury, it's all about breaking down, analyzing, precision, and practicality. Virgo is very much wired for problem solving, making systems more efficient, and then applying the knowledge to real, tangible, because it's an earth sign, usable ways. When you are connecting this with books, you're talking about having a step-by-step plan. Virgo loves a plan. It also loves rules, methods, and having books dealing with routines. If you're dealing with fiction and Virgo energy, you're talking about a character that's very meticulous and has a routine every day. Virgo also is associated with the sixth house, and the sixth house is about your daily routines. It's about service to others, also small pets, and health. Big on health and your coworkers as well. So any books aligned with that energy goes well with Virgo energy. Virgo is about work, right? During Virgo season, you do have Labor Day, and what does labor represent? Now, because Virgo is an earth sign, you get that grounded, practical energy, and you get functional approaches towards things. So Virgo really resonates strongly with the how-to books, the self-help also too, because you get the mental health and health overall, mentally and physically. Also very strong on organization manuals, how to clean your home manuals or books or coffee books. Also wellness guides across the board. So when you go to the self-help section, you're pretty much dealing with a lot of Virgo energy. Lastly, I want to explain that Virgo energy is very detailed, orientated. It really wants to be perfect. Virgo notices what a lot of other zodiac signs would miss: the details, the patterns, the small tweaks that lead to big changes. When you are dealing with Virgo energy, you're dealing with the tailors, that kind of precise and very perfect energy. So any books dealing with small habits or surgeons, even though surgeons can deal with more Scorpio energy, but being precise and being perfect, you want that Virgo to heal you too. Also, you're talking about an editor, a healer, any type of system builder energy. You want to focus on that when you are talking about books dealing with Virgo. So we just left Leo season, and Leo is all about passion. Leo is a fire sign. It's very bold and courageous, and you're leaving the spotlight and you're going into spreadsheets. You're leaving the drama and you're getting more discipline. You're leaving glamour and you're becoming more grounded. You go from the stage to studying. You talk about your heart, and then now you're talking about healing. You go from playing around to being more practical. From your expression to being more efficient. From shining bright like the sun to shining something bright because you want it cleaned. Also, you are using service with this energy. From extravagant to the essentials. Leo energy loves to be very boastful and everyone look at me. And Virgo is like, slow it down. Let's be practical. Calm it down. So that's where we are now. We left Leo season. I read 3 books related to Leo energy. during Leo season. I read The Favorite. It was very dramatic. It was about fame and success. Also, Leo is talking about athletic energy, because you have a lot of people who are like, look at me, I'm on a stage kind of status, and they are using their physical body because it's a fire sign. I love the book, The Favorite. It was well written. There's a lot of drama for sure, and passion involved, and stage theater, darling. So this book is 100% a Leo representative book. I rated it a 4.5. Loved it, and I will read anything that this author writes next. Another book I read is Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings. This book was not the best for me, I have to admit. However, this book is giving you Leo energy, because you are talking about a supermodel, and you are talking about a famous rock star, and romance. All three of those things represent Leo energy. I find it to be a little dry, a little toxic, but if that's your thing, if you love Jessa Hastings, then you will love this book, because I felt like it was just like the other books that she writes. I didn't rate that high, but it is what it is. I don't regret reading it, because I can hold the comfort, because now I know all about it. I'm very curious when it comes to reading, so I don't regret reading it. The last book I read, which was a thicker book, which I didn't know because I was reading on my Kindle, is A Court of Mist of Fury. And I rated this book really high, so I would give it a 4.5. It was really good. I find that this book was really talking about kingdoms and kings and queens and royalty, and that's why I picked this book for Leo season. And you had that, and it's a little mystical, more Pisces, with somewhat of some magic and power. Really picked it because of the throne and royalty and kings. And you had the lover. I'm trying to not say what the book is about. You had the lover really being a king, and yeah, for the throne and power. So 100%. I did enjoy this book. I will rate it a 4.5. This is a popular series though. So those are the 3 books that I read for Leo season. Now let's talk about Virgo season, shall we? Like I said earlier, any books that are dealing with self-help is really big with Virgo energy. You are talking about books that are dealing with routines, productivity, and even personal healing mentally and physically. 7 Habits of a Highly Effective Person, Powerful Lessons, Personal Change. That one is a good one. The Power of Habit, Why We Do What We Do in Life and Business. That is another one. Deep Work, Rules for Focused Success in a Distracted World. That one has a 4.4-star rating. The Body Keeps the Score, Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma. The one that I actually have 2 here. This book is, I would say, the top Virgo book. First of all, it talks about habits. It's called Atomic Habits. Tiny changes, remarkable results. All these words on this book is very much Virgo, okay? I read this book. I rated a 5-star. It is a game changer. It talks about how you can implement habits and be consistent, which is very Virgo energy, to improve your life, which is everything you want. That's the best thing about Virgo. Also, another book is The Power of Now. I read that a long time ago. I would think that is also a Virgo book. Another book I have, which I have not read this book, is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Because you are talking about habit, I just grabbed this too. I read at the back, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is a powerful blend of leading edge science and real life applications woven into the perfect formula of everyday living. I felt like that synopsis of this is very much about Virgo energy. All human beings to create their reality they choose. Quantum physics, neuroscience, brain chemistry, biology, genetics to show what is truly possible. It seems like it's more about genetics and science, which gives me a very Aquarius energy. I will have to read to know. Let me see. Not only will you be given the necessary knowledge to change any aspect of yourself, but you will be taught the step-by-step tools. That's Virgo. Step-by-step tools to apply what you learn in order to make measurable changes in any area of your life. Okay. I don't know how, but step-by-step rules. Very Virgo. Now, another section is productivity and routines, okay? You're talking about that lady who did that Netflix show. Is it where she cleaned, like was folding all the clothes in tiny things? I feel like that's very Virgo. Any book that is about cleaning, Virgo. I used to have organization, self-help books. All that will fall in line. Again, Atomic Habits, go into productivity. The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma, Morning Routines for Productivity. Daily Rituals, How Artists Work by Mason Curry, fascinating peek at creative daily routines as well. I have a cookbook, which is very rare. I have several cookbooks, actually. I am a Cancer Sun and Gemini placement. So Gemini energy loves to read, okay? Cancers love to cook, okay? One of the zodiac signs I love to cook, besides Taurus and I would think Sagittarius. Anyway, so this is very Virgo. Even the title, Truly Simple, of cooking, and it's very clean ingredients, which is very much Virgo. And it's very simple. It talks about making salad dressings, cooked several things. Actually, this is like the third cookbook with her. So I've used her cookbook several times. It's by Kristen Cavallari. Let's talk about, I have one more nonfiction book here. And this one, I picked this book because you are talking about health, mental health and health across the board. And it's called Medical Apartheid. I actually DNF'd this book. I want to finish it. It is serious. That's how far I got in the book. It was very good. I didn't highlight, so I need to, I did highlight because it's very serious. And this book is about the dark history of medical experimentation on Black Americans from colonial times to present. But it very much talks about the health system, which is all about Virgo energy. So I do like this book. Now, you are talking about history, so you are talking about that Cancer element, and you are talking about racism. It's more like Saturn with some boundaries and Pluto with obsession of power, even Mars, even like a little bit of war element. So Virgo, I picked because of the health aspect. Okay, let's talk about some fiction books because that is my favorite. First one I have is a routine-driven kind of fiction, and A Man Called Ove. I felt like I read this a long time ago. Thought I owned a book, but I don't. But man bound by routine, and he transformed by the community. Another one is Convenience Store Woman by, I can't say the last name, but it's Ritual, Routine, and the Odd Beauty in Precision. Another one, which I did read, To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. And you're talking about rhythm of routine, family rituals, and domestic precision as well. Now, here are some, I just have like 2 books. I realize I don't have a lot of Virgo fiction books, but I do have a lot of Virgo nonfiction books, which is very interesting. Anyway, book that I grabbed is Take My Hand, and this is about the medical system in Montgomery, Alabama, 1973, fresh out of nursing school, intends to make a difference, especially in African American community. The Montgomery Family Planning Clinic. She hopes to help women shape their destinies. This one is more about choice and abortion. It is dealing with a health aspect and service to others. So this one I would say is really big into Virgo energy. I have not read this book yet, but I do want to read it, of course, because I own it. So that goes into the health one. Now, I do want you to understand, this is going to sound very weird when I say this, but because Virgo energy is very meticulous, they make the best murderers, okay? When you have a fiction book and it is talking about very like meticulous killers, you're dealing with Virgo energy, okay? So some books that we have here is The Collector by John Fowles. Man kidnaps an art student and keeps her captive. His deliberate planning was very calculated with the killing. I have not read any of these books. The Lover by Laura Wilson, and set during World War II. The novel is based on the real life Blackout Ripper. Another one is you want to get books that are, when fiction, you're dealing with books where people are dealing with precision. So even like The Tailor of Panama by John Le Carre. This spy centers on the main character, and he's a tailor in Panama. Known for his precision and craft. So that is more the Virgo energy. Another one is Any Doctors or Healers, like I talked about earlier. And Dr. Glass by, can't say it, it's a psychological thriller. And it follows Dr. Tycho Gabriel Glass, a Stockholm physician wrestling with moral despair. He becomes entangled in plotting a murder to liberate a patient's unhappy wife. That actually sounds really good. I have this book here, and this is My Sister, the Serial Killer. And when reading the synopsis of it, it says she knows the best solutions for cleaning blood. Bleach, more bleach, the best way to move a body, wrap it in its sheets like a mummy. The back of this book, it talks about how she can clean a crime scene really well, and very meticulous about how to wrap up the body. Very Virgo energy. So this one I definitely might be reading during Virgo season. I have to be honest, Virgo season for me is very dry when it comes to reading. I mean, into mutable energy and changing from summer into fall. I've been into that, but really the self-help and improving is really where I focus. So lastly, I want to explain, because Virgo is a mutable sign and it's about changing systems. And now you are moving from the thoughts, and the energy is really from moving from fun and being more serious about things. And people start to focus more on what's coming up because there is this plan to focus on that. And you find a lot of book readers going from summer reads during Virgo season, even though it's still summer, and focusing on fall reads. So you have this Virgo energy causing it to be from summer to fall literally overnight. And you have them going to academia reads, thrillers, gothic, and fall books, even cozy books, really fast, because this mutable sign is bridging seasons together. So it's changing from that Leo energy, which it was more carefree and vacation and having fun and being in the sun type of books, to the classics and gothic books and books that are a little bit more serious, not as lighthearted. So swapping that poolside energy kind of books to autumn coziness and being more productive. Also too, Virgo energy loves to categorize a lot of things and redefining and structuring. So you have everyone talking about their fall TBRs and their fall reading guides. They're preparing more for the future ahead. Virgo energy for me personally is really thinking about what books am I going to read for fall, for Libra season. It's really bizarre, but that's what happened. Virgo is so about planning that it's like no fun. Let's be very serious kind of energy. Not like Capricorn, but just become more serious about focusing on the future, which is more all that Libra, and Libra is like strong fall. And because remember I told you earlier that Mercury rules Virgo, and a lot of people think Geminis are flip-floppers, and you get that energy with Virgo. It literally changes overnight. So more serious books comes with Virgo energy, and that's why you get a lot of people talking about fall books during Virgo season, even though it's still summertime. And I find myself preparing more for the future reads than the actual summer reads. And even my book, I have a book talk, and on my book talk, I'm like, okay, to hurry up and wrap up these summer books. And I gave myself a deadline, which is very Virgo energy, to finish like 4 summer books before we get into the seriousness of Libra season. Even though Libra is very fun, we'll get into that in the future. And I find that I have a lot of Libra books to offer you. But the Virgo energy is really focused on the nonfiction, and that is not my forte. Nonfiction. It's more about health and lifestyle, and more earthly, slow burn kind of fiction, which I talked about slow burns with the first earth sign we went over, Taurus. And Virgo is just a part of that slow burn as well. Anyway, so that wraps up my Zodiac Reads Books Aligned with the Stars Virgo edition. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what's your favorite self-help book. I have to say Atomic Habits beats it all for me. And I was thinking about reading Let Them, which is like the #1 self-help book right now. I will see you guys in my next video. Hit the bell if you want to know what books to read for Libra season. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.